Good afternoon, tribe. How y'all doing? I hope everybody had a good day. This is a special request, Benita, for you, girl. Benita says she need help unpacking this latest episode of Atlanta. So I'm thinking that you must have listened to the podcast and know that I look at Atlanta and that I have just been singing its praises um, this season. So here's the thing. It's funny because when I first started looking at the episode, I said, Benita, she must be talking about the episode from 2 weeks ago when the episode I was talking about on the podcast with the character that has like the Michael Jackson thing going on and, that whole scenario. Because I was like, this is just a normal little episode, no big deal. But the more and more it got into the episode, the more and more I was like, oh, now I know what Benita talk about. It's a whole lot going on in this episode. So let's try to unpack some things. First of all, this season is called Robbing season. In every episode, it seems like somebody got robbed or is getting robbed. Paperboy, who, if you watch Atlanta, you know that Paperboy is the rapper who sort of is like a one-hit wonder kind of thing. He is local famous, but he hasn't really made the breakthrough all the way. And he's sort of his own. He's getting in his own way. He's his own worst enemy right now, and I believe that's what this whole episode was about. So you see, I also think that in this season he's dealing with some depression. Last season he was on the high. He was all paperboy, but he was always sort of fighting for that respect that he thought he deserved that he wasn't getting. Earn, his cousin is his manager, but you know he his cousin who's his manager. You know what I'm saying? He don't really I don't know if he has the tools or the skills to get him to the next level. He's a very intelligent. Earn is a very intelligent guy, but I don't know if he can get him to that next level. So this episode shows the beginning of the episode. He sleep. He's on the couch. He sleep for like 2 days. Don't move. Don't want to answer his phone. You see the light go from dark to night, back to light. To me, that's a sign of depression. Not to get too deep. I'm not trying to diagnose nobody, but I think that his character is dealing with a depression. He was on house arrest. Like, he had some other stuff going on. And when he goes out, he's Paperboy. But he ain't got no car. You know what I mean? He's on house arrest. He living in the hood. He don't really have a whole lot of money. So it's that image when people see him that he's trying to live up to. But in the real, his real life is really not what people think it is. We hear people on the radio and we automatically think, oh, they paid, they got it going on. And that's generally not it. You know what I'm saying? So he hooks up with his girl, Sierra. Sierra, she's an ex-stripper who's like an Instagram model who's trying to do some things. And Sierra got the right idea. And Sierra's trying to school him. She's like, so they go shopping. And she's like, look, you need to start getting you some clothes. You need to come out them sweats and come out, you have to give people something different. And he was like, what you talking about, man? I'm keeping it real. I'm hood. And she was like, yeah, but, people don't want to see rich people look like them. And that's not the first time I've heard that. And that's actually a pretty valid statement to say, hey, people want to feel like when they hear you on the radio or they see you out there in movies or whatever, they want to feel like you're at a different level. They don't want to feel like they can go out here and look like you and dress like you and all of that. And so they're at this, little men's warehouse type store. And she's trying to tell them, you need to get some of these loafers. You need to try some of these clothes on. So he was like, well, you see him kind of thinking about it. And he's like, well, how much are they? And she was like, how much? Get your manager to get them for you. And he was like, yeah, my manager ain't doing nothing like that. And she doesn't come right out and say to him, your manager ain't shit. But she insinuates it, that your manager really should be able to do some things for you, like a stylist, get you some freebies, get you some stuff so you can go out here looking presentable. Then they go to the nail shop, and he's getting a pedi. And she's like, a lot of men wouldn't want to, admit that they groom themselves. She was like, ain't nothing wrong with a man who takes care of himself, takes care of his skin, and grooms himself, and men need to stop acting like it's a gay thing. Just because you want to look nice, you want to carry yourself nice, it's a gay thing. And so you see him again. He's kind of torn because he's like, oh, really? It's not what men's supposed to be doing. But I'm doing it because I'm with you. Because the beginning of the episode, his boy makes a joke with him about Sierra being his girlfriend. And he like, nah, she ain't my girlfriend. But they doing girlfriend, boyfriend shit all day. So they end up getting into an argument at the nail shop because she's really trying to get him up on game. She's like, you need to start Instagramming more. And he's like, nah, I ain't with that fake shit. She was like, fake? What are you talking about? Like, it's marketing. It's putting yourself out there. It's letting yourself be seen. And everything, in his mind, he equates everything to not keeping it real and, not repping and all that other stuff. And she's like, yo, you're tripping. That's not even what this is about. So, they end up, she takes a picture. She was like, look, me and you really should hook up. You know what I mean? We really should do some things. And he was like, do some things? Nah, I'm good. I ain't really trying to be on no girlfriend stuff. She was like, we ain't got to be real. We just got to put it out there. She was like, if your brand mixed with my brand, maybe we can mesh some things together. Maybe we could do some things together. And he's just like, nah. So she takes a picture of him anyway with them, like in the chair, whatever. And he gets really pissed off with her, and they end up arguing. He's like, look, don't delete that. Don't post it. I told you I ain't about that fake shit. All this bullshit. And she's like, look, you're stupid. Like, you're stupid. You don't even understand that this is that you need to be on this shit. And I'm trying to help you get to the next level. Like, you really need to, get your shit together. So he gets mad at her, and he leaves out the nail shop. And she's like, I drove. How you getting home? He was like, I'll walk. Y'all know how y'all get mad. I'll walk. Fuck it. I'll walk. It might be 20 miles, but I'll walk. So he walking. Here's where the shit gets crazy. Up until that point, regular episode, right? Here's where it starts getting a little crazy. So, he roll up on these dudes. They're like, yo, you Paperboy? He like, yeah, I'm Paperboy. They're like, dang, yo, man, my brother ain't gonna believe this. I ran into Paperboy. They were like, why you walking? Why you ain't driving? They were like, you ain't got no car? And he was like, what, I can't walk? Like, that's against the law for me to walk? They're like, nah, you can walk. That's cool. And then you see something sort of click with the boys. And they kind of give each other the look. And one of them, he's like, yo. And they rob him. I mean, he fights back. And he tries to fight back. But it was 3 against 1. And they had a gun. And they took his chain. They took his watch, And he ends up running and getting away from them. He runs down, he falls into like a no bakement, he runs into the woods or whatever, and he hides for a little while because he hears them calling his name. They're like, Paperboy, so he's hiding, you know what I'm saying? And it really goes to show how, a gun changed a whole lot of things, because I think had they not had that gun, he probably would have been able to, because he had actually gotten the best of one of the guys, but he had headbutted him and had him down on the ground, but that's the one that had the damn gun, so he comes out of hiding. He waits, I guess, a significant amount of time that he thinks is enough. He comes out of hiding. Now he's in the woods, and he's wandering around the woods. Still a little bit scared, because he don't know where the boys are. He don't know if they still chasing him. He passes a deer with the guts hanging out. Only reason why I mention that is because it kind of comes back later in the episode. Then you have, he runs into this dude in the woods. The impression is that he's a homeless dude in the woods, and he was like, who you looking for them boys? He was like, yeah, where'd they go? And the guy starts fucking with him. He's like, they went that way. No, they went that way. No. You know what I mean? He's playing with him. So Paperboy's like, look, man, I ain't got time to play these games with you. So he starts walking, trying to get out the woods. And he's really just walking in circles. He ends up passing the deer with the guts again. And the homeless guy's following behind him. Where you going? What you get ready to do? Where you going? And Paperboy's like, yo, dude, don't fuck with me. I ain't in the mood. I'm having a really bad day. I really don't have time. He's like, yo, man, give me some money. He's fucking with him. So they pass the deal with the guts, and he's like, yep, that's what I'm about to, I'm going to call you. I'm calling you, what did he say? Fat boy deer guts or some shit. But something with deer guts in it. That's what he was calling him. Paperboy sits down. He was like, why you stop walking? He's like, because I'm tired. The homeless guy's like, okay. So here's where the fork splits for me. And this is the unpacking piece of it. Honestly, I think The homeless guy was a figment of his imagination. I don't think that guy was real. I think he was hallucinating, dreaming, whatever you want to call it. Because the homeless guy said something along the lines of, "Yeah, you just like your mama." He was like, "What? What? You know what?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, you just like your mother." And some other things that he drops in the conversation makes me think that this dude ain't really real. That this is Paperboy hallucinating. And what ends up happening is Paperboy is sitting down and he tells Paperboy, he's like, "So what's up? What, you dead now?" He was like, "Nah, I ain't dead." He's like, "Well, stop acting like you dead." He was like, "Cause if you dead, then I'm about to take them shoes, I'm about to take that wallet, I'm about to take their shirt, and I'm gonna leave your ass here because it ain't nobody here but me and you." So Paperboy's like, "Shh, whatever, nigga." Then the dude pulls out a blade, like a box cutter, puts it up to his neck, and he was like, "Look, I'm telling you, you got 30 seconds to figure out how to get out of here, or I'm going to do you." And he starts counting. Paperboy starts running. Damn if he ain't running to the parking lot of a goddamn BP gas station. He been there the whole time. He been behind the gas station the whole time he been walking through the woods. Now, mind you, it's dark by now. So he been in the woods all day. He goes into the gas station. Somebody recognizes him. He takes a picture. Something he wouldn't have done before. You know what I mean? He ain't like doing the whole fan thing before. The boy was like, "Yo, you Paperboy?" And he's like, now mind you, he beat up, face swole, bleeding. His mouth was bleeding. His clothes are all dirty. He looked like some shit. He holding the daggone cold drink to his eye because his eye done swole up. And you could tell he was really not feeling the whole situation. But he tells the boy, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want a picture?" The guy was like, the little boy was like, "Yeah." Took a picture. He took like 5 or 6 pictures with him. You know what I mean? He was like, he just kept saying, "Take another one, take another one, take another one." And that's pretty much where the episode ends. So it ended crazy. But I really feel like the first couple of episodes that we saw Paperboy, he really was in a funk. Like in the first episode, they showed where his manager was trying to get him on and trying to hook him up with other people and get him some endorsements and stuff. And he just was not being cooperative. Because it's this whole image, and I ain't trying to sell out, and I'm not trying to be that, and I just gotta keep it real for my fans type shit. And I feel like this whole episode was about getting out of your own way. That's what I took away from it. Was right now you are in your own way, and that's the reality of especially rappers, because they're on this whole hood type thing. And the reality is, so at what point is it cool to not be from the hood anymore? At what point is it cool for me to wear a suit? At what point is it cool for me to act like I went to school and I know how to speak the King's English? Right? And so I feel like that is just, I really feel like that was the metaphor. And I feel like you could take it literal, that there was literally a man in the woods chasing him and telling him to get out of his own way and telling him to get his shit together. Or you could take it metaphorically and say this was his own imagination, this was an image in his head, and he was kind of talking to himself like, "You really been fucking up and you need to get it together." I'm just like, this is the second time this dude done been robbed this season. Like, the season's called robbing season, but damn, it ain't called robbing Paperboy season. So it'll be interesting to see. The one thing about this show, it's not a week by week thing. So it's not like next episode it's gonna be this whole epiphany and Paperboy is gonna be like, "Yo, last week, da 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 da." Like, it's gonna be a totally different topic next week. But I hope that we're gonna slowly see the progression of Paperboy getting out of his own way and starting to move forward and get out of that one hit wonder phase and try to do some things different and come out of being an Atlanta artist to being an artist. So, Benita, I hope that helped. Drop it in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you liked it, if you didn't like it. And I'm about to get ready to get into this Real Housewives of Potomac. Peace.